What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Theory Hammer, where we have a ton of stuff to talk about today. We finally got a new Minotaur field manual and a new balanced data slate. And then we also got new detachments for a bunch of things, so there's a whole lot to go over here today. We're going to go over all of it. We're going to just run through the field manual, we're going to run through the data slate, we're going to go through all the detachments that are new. Then I'll mention a couple of other things here and there that changed. So, if you guys like this video, thunderhammer that like and subscribe button, hit Nurgle's bell, check out the other videos, leave comments, tell me what you think, do all that stuff. Check out the Power Fisters, that's our other channel for video games, and let's just get right into it. So here's the field manual, I have that up already, and we're just going to go page by page, see what we got. Codex Adeptus Sororitas, so Arco-Flagellants, right? Flagellants. They remain to the same points unless you take 10 of them, in which case you are only paying 140 points for 10 of them. So, they went down a little bit, nice to see that. So, then we got the Sacrosanct, 5 points drop on the 5-man unit, and then 20 point drop on the 10-man. So you got 70 points and 130 points for the Sacrosancts now. Dominions, down 10 points to 115. Repentia, they are now down 5 points to 85, or 10 points for 170, if you take 10 of them. Seraphim are down 85 or 170. They're down 20 points for a big unit. Jesus, dude. I forget exactly what the points were, because I put them on the shelf. Literally, they're behind me right now. You can see them on some of my videos, probably, whatever. Whenever I have my camera actually on, they're in the background. So, anyway, Zephyrim went down. Zephyrim went down to 80 points, or 160. So, good drops overall for Adeptus Sororitas. I like it. I like seeing those drops for sure. I'm not sure the Sacrosancts are... 130 points for 10 of them. They might be good. Yeah. Arco-Flagellants, 140 points, 14 points a model instead of 15, so they actually go down if you take more of them, which is just weird the way that they've done this now. But let's just go continue here. Next, we have Custodes. Whoa, all over the map. Elia, down 10, 65 for her. Blade Champion, up 10, because these things are all over the place. Custodes have been doing pretty well, so yeah, they went up. 120 points for the Blade Champion. The Custodian Guard, looks like they went down. 170 for 4 of them, or 215 for 5 of them. Wardens, though, went up. They went up by 10 points, so I guess 2 points a guy here. Right? 4 of them went up by 10 points, so they're 210 points. 5 of them is 260 points, so that's what we get for our Wardens. They are a little bit more expensive now, so you're paying an extra... basically 10 points, 20 points per squad that you had before. So, yeah. Knight Centura, down 15. Why was it 70? It's now 55. Shield Captain is 130. Shield Captain in Alaris Terminator armor is 130. Shield Captain on a Dawn Eagle is 150, so they all dropped by 10 there. Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought went up to 170, because, it getting up and having a bunch of extra rules now, without a points change, is kind of silly. So that went up just a little bit, though. Telemon Heavy Dread, 225 now, instead of 215. And then we have one change for the Solar Spearhead, which is the Augury Uplink. Not sure what that is. It was 25 points, now it's 35 points. Solar Spearhead, Augury Uplink. Is that the Feel No Pain? I think that's the Feel No Pain one. Pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Feel No Pain. Right? Or is the Talisman the Feel No Pain? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that's the Feel No Pain one. Oh man, I just marked this somehow. Shit. Make it stop. Cancel. I fucked it up. Alright, let's move on. So those were the changes for our Custodes. Then we have Mechanicus. Call goes down by 15 to 135. Tech Priest Dominus goes down to 65. Okay. So a couple changes for Admech there. Call being actually affordable. Dude, he's as many points as Azureman. So that's something. Titanicus, nothing there. Eldar, we got a bunch of increases. Okay, so our Codex just came out. Our new points, I think, just came out. And then they were like, oh, just kidding. Here's the actual new points. So, Dark Reaper's still 90 points for 5, but they are 195 for 10. Dire Avengers, They went up a little bit each, like 5 and 10, so 80 points or 160. Fire Dragons went up 10 points per squad size, so 110 for 5 and 220 for 10. The Striking Scorpions went up. They went up 10 points. They were 75, now they're 85. And then the Wave Serpent went up as well to 125. Cool. So all of this was probably needed. They're not crazy. I mean, the Dark Reaper one, that's pretty big. But yeah, I mean, Fire Dragons being slightly more expensive makes sense. They literally one-shot like 2 tanks at once and then jump back inside of a transport. Like, ridiculous unit. But yeah, your Wave Serpent, way too hard to destroy for 115 points. So that went up a little bit. That's our Eldar changes. I guess there's nothing else down here. I didn't know they had 2 pages, but the Inari did not get any changes. Codex Astra Militarum. Couple changes here. First up, we have the heavy weapon squads. They are now 65 points for 3 of them, so they went up 15 points. They were 50 before. The Catachan heavy weapon squads also went up to 65. So mortars are more expensive, I guess. The Militarum Tempestus command squad went up 10 points, and they're now 85. Tempestus Scions went up just a little bit, 70 or 140, depending on whether it's 5 or 10 models. I think they have a second page. They do. So Bridgehead Strike, the Bombast class Vox Array, that went up to 35 points. It was 25 before. And I'm pretty sure that's the one that lets you cast multiple orders. So, there is one other change to Bridgehead, which we'll get to in the balanced data slate, where they're only +1 to wound, or +1 to hit, instead of being +1 to wound, when they either get out of transports or when they deep strike. So, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big problem. But we'll get to that soon. But them going up in points, too. That's some bullshit, my friend. Black Templar, no changes. Okay, escaped it. Blood Angels, Death Company Marines went down by 5, and by 20 if you take the big unit. Okay. Those are just regular guys, because then we have the Death Company Marines with bolt rifles, which I guess are a unit that exists for some fucking reason. 85 points or 160, so down 5 or 20. The Death Company Captain with Jump Pack, he is down to 75. Okay, so minus 10 points for him. The regular, not the regular, but the ones you're actually going to take, the Death Company with Jump Packs, they are the same points cost. Liberator Assault Group, so that has the Rage-Fueled Warrior, which went up 10 points to 35. Liberator Assault Group, that is, I think that's the regular one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the original detachment. So that's going to probably be the one where the dude smacks with the Force of God. The Force of Zeus. How do I end up clicking on things randomly? Chaos Demons, bunch of changes here. Be'lakor went up 50 fucking points to 375. Okay. Contorted Epitome. It's actually not how you say it, it's Epitome. The Contorted Epitome went up to 100 points, so it was 20, or it was 80. It went up 20 points. Fiends, +5, so 110 for a 3-man, 220 for a 6-man, +10 for the 6-man. Fleshhound, 75, so +5 there, and 150 for 10, so +10 there. Basically +5 if you take a 5-man either way. So, yeah, you know what I mean. Great Unclean One, he went up 20, he's now 250. He's great, and he's unclean, and he's expensive. Nurglings, they went down. So they're only 35 points for 3, 60 for 6, 90 for 9. Interesting. You get a discount for taking more of them. Rodigus, +20 points for 250. Screamers, +5 points either way, no matter which size. So 5 points for a 3-man and 10 points for a 6. 80 points and 160 for them. Aliaksei went down 45 points to 380. That gives me pause. What is happening here? The Mask of Slaanesh went up 10 points to 95. Weren't people taking Aliaksei? Because Aliaksei's great? Okay. For our Demonic Incursion, the Endless Gift Enhancement is +15 points to 45. I have no idea what that does. Is that the new one? Is this the new one that we got? I don't know. We're going to get to that, though. Chaos Knights, Desecrator down 10 to 400. Despoiler down 15 to 400. The Tyrant, so the big fucking guy, he's down 30 to 480. Okay, nice. I like that. Chaos Space Marines, the Predator Annihilator went up 5 points to 135. Forge Fiend went down 10 to 180. Lord Discordant on the Hellstalker, he went down to 160. So the Predator Annihilator is the one with the las cannon, so that thing must have been fucking shit up with its new rule. This thing sucks. No one ever takes these things. They don't suck, they're just too expensive. Lord Discordant, though, he kind of sucks. Any other changes? Nope. So just those changes for Chaos, so really no big changes there. Dark Angels, no changes. Death Guard got a couple changes. Their Predator Annihilator went up to 135, so the same as the regular Predator, like for the Chaos. The Predator Destructor, that went up 10 points to 140. That thing is nuts, though. With the plus, like the -1 to your save, it has lethals, it has sustained, and its main gun gets like +1 AP against not vehicles. So it's like a lot of damage. Mephitic Blight Haulers went down. Corey was using these things. That's interesting. So 85 points for a Mephitic Blight Hauler, and then just, 5 points for each one you take less. 170 and 225 for those. Deathwatch. How the fuck? No. How the fuck did these guys not go up in points? Dude, the Indomitor kill team is ridiculous. For 270 points. It's nuts that they didn't change that. The Terminators, though, they went up. So they went +10 if you take 5. And then -10. Sorry, so they're 190 if you take 5, 350 if you take 10. So +10 and -10 from what they were before. Yeah, I mean, these Terminators are pretty good. They can get like a bunch of missile launchers and then 2 guys with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. So that's pretty good. And then they have access to, all the nonsense that Deathwatch gets. So like better AP, ignores cover, jumping up into the atmosphere, getting sustained hits, lethal hits, whatever. So 10 points is probably good there. Surprised that the other guys didn't change, though. That's fucking crazy. Drakari got a couple little drops here. Not nerfs, they got buffs. The Calabite Warriors went down 10 to 100. The Witches went down 10 to 80. Okay. Easy peasy. Codex Emperor's Children. No one cares. Nah, I'm just kidding. So next we got the Emperor's Children here, and we actually do have a Codex review that we're going to be releasing on Saturday. So depending on when you're watching this, this will be coming out basically the day after the Emperor's Children review will be. These are their points. We also have the Guard Codex. That's going to be coming out pretty soon. And then I'm also going to be doing an Eldar Codex review, of course. And we're going to be putting them out there. So those are coming out next. But yeah, Emperor's Children points. The Rhino is 80 points. The Spawn are 80 points. The the Chaos Terminators are 170. The Demon Prince of Slaanesh is 195. And I'm just going to go over these because I haven't talked about these points before. The Demon Prince of Slaanesh with wings is 180. Flawless Blades, I guess these are new, 110, 220. Fulgrim, he is 385. Helldrake is 195. Infractors are 85 or 160 if you take 5 or 10. Lord Exulent is 80. The Lord Cacophonist, God damn it, how do I say this? Cacophonous. The Lord Cacophonous is 60 points. Lucius is 140. Oh god, I'm surprised. It's going to be interesting reading these first, to then read the models later on. Mauler Fiend, 130. Noise Marines 135 for 6. You can't change their squad size. Interesting. Sorcerer. Why wouldn't they? What's Slaanesh's number? Is it 6? The Sorcerer, 60 points. Tormentors, 85 or 170. Demonettes, 90. Fiend, 95 or 190. Keeper of Secrets for 280. Aliaksei for 380. Then for our enhancements, our Dark Blessing, 10 points. Empiric Suffusion is 15 points. Possessed Blade, 25. Warp Walker, 30. I'm gonna forget all of this by the time I go to read these things. Coterie of the Conceited, so Plague of Dark Glory, that's 25. Pledge of Eternal Servitude, 25. Pledge of Mortal Pain, 15. Pledge of Unholy Fortune, 20. Mercurial Host, they have 6 detachments, my god. Mercurial Host, Intoxicating Musk, 20 points. Loathsome Dexterity is 10. Steeped in Suffering is 20. Tactical Perfection is 15. For Peerless Bladesman, we have Blinding Speed for 25. Distortion for 25. Thoughtless Opportunist for 15. Rise to the Challenge for 30. For Rapid Evisceration, Accomplished Tactician 35. Heretic Adept 35. Spearhead Striker 20. Sublime Prescience 25. Slanesh's Chosen, Eager to Prove is going to be 15. Proud and Vainglorious? Proud and Vainglorious 20. Repulsed by Weakness 25. Slayer of Champions 15. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, and then for Index Emperor's Children, Lucius is 95 and Noise Marines are 85 or 170. Noise Marines are 135 here. Okay. Cool. Do they have like 3 wounds apiece? I can't wait to read that. It's going to be great. Gene Stealers. They got 1 change. Neophyte Hybrids. They went up 15 points if you take a 20 man. Okay. Sure, dude. Not sure why that's the case, but that's what happened. Grey Knights got 1 change. It's the Inceptors. Those are the guys, Interceptors. They're the ones that jump around. Jump around, you know what I'm saying? They're 125 now, or 250. Imperial Agents, the Calexis Assassin, went down to 85 points. Probably still useless. 85 points for Allied as well. Imperial Knights got some changes. The Castellan went down to 480, so it was 510 before. No one took it besides my buddy Dan. And that thing was teleporting around, and it was fucking shit up pretty bad. Now it's even cheaper. The Knight Valiant also went down to 480, because it's like its other variant, basically. Leagues of Votan, cool, no changes for me. Doomsday Arc for Necrons went up to 200 points, looks like that's their only change. Orcs, Big Mech with a shock attack gun went up 10 to 75. Tank Busters were 120 before, Jesus Christ. They're 135 now, so they went up 15. And then in the Tactical Brigade, the Mech Captain went up to 45 points. I forget what that does, but that's what it costs now. Moving on to Space Marines. To the Spez Marines. The Ballistus went up to 140. That's too expensive, right? Blade Guard Veterans went down 80 or 160 if you take 3 or 6. Centurions went down. The Dev Squad specifically went down 165 for 3 or 330 for 6. Company Heroes, that's pretty crazy. Those things are really good in specific detachments where they can jump on and off. Nuts, bro. Nuts. Company Heroes, 105. Calgar went up to 210. They've just been pushing him. He's nuts, dude. Predator Annihilator, that's going to be 135. So all the Predators have gone up to 135 so far, the Annihilators. The Destructor up to 140. Vindicator, that is up to 185. The Whirlwind went up to 190. Why did the Vindicator go up to 185? Isn't the Chaos Vindicator like exactly 185 or 190? Might be 190. But yeah, the Chaos Vindicator being 10 points more and having just sustained hits plus its detachment rule. Sure, that's worth 5 points, bro. Gladius Task Force, the Fire Discipline went down 15 points to 25. That's the one that gives you crits on 5s or something, right? Librarius Conclave, Fusillade, that went up to 35, so plus 20. I think they gave you sustained hits. What a dumb bullshit. Space Wolves got no changes. Tau, the Kroot Rampagers went down 10 points to 85 or 170 if you're taking the 6 of them, which is interesting because those things are very good. Like, really good. 170? Oh, the Lone Spear also went down, it looks like. He went down to 80. So he's pretty cool now. He was cool before. Cool. So Tau got some cool little changes there, and they also got a new detachment that we'll have to take a look at. Next, we got Thousand Suns. Mutalith Vortex Beast went up just a little bit, 165 now. Scarab Occult Terminators, for 5, they went down to 180. For 10, they went down to 360. The Cultists went down, if you take 20 of them, to 100. Interesting. Thousand Sun Sorcerer and Terminator Armor went down a little bit to 105, so he went down 10 points. The Vindicator went up to 85. Zangors, so the Enlightened, they are now 80 points for 6, but still 50 points for 3. The regular Zangors, they're 120 if you take 20 of them now. Otherwise, they're still 65. That's our Thousand Suns. We then have Tyranids. Exocrine up 5 points to 140. Hive Tyrant down 10 points to 225. Okay, so that's a wash, basically. Neural Lictor went down 10 points. Trigon went down 10 points to 140. And then the Tyrannofex went up 10 points. So this really didn't change your Tyranid lists at all. Cool. None of their enhancements changed. Then we got World Eaters. Their regular Demon Prince went down 15 points to 185. Not bad, because he was 200 before. He's the guy that gives everybody a 4-up Feel No Pain, or a 4-up Invuln around him. And if you give him a cool enhancement, he halves damage. He can be a real pain in the ass, because he does, like, he becomes Dev Wounds on the charge with a bunch of attacks. And he can, anyway, he's 185 now. He's great. The guy with wings, so the World Eater's Demon Prince with wings, he's down 15 as well and is now 155. The World Eater's Lord on Juggernaut is now 80, so down 20. Pretty hefty drop there. Their Predator went up to 135, so that's the Annihilator, and the Destructor went up to 140. And that is our field manual for March 2025. Lots of changes. Tons of changes, but not really that many. So, World Eaters, this stuff only really went down. People really weren't taking Predators and Destructors and all that stuff. They probably should have, but I didn't see many people using that kind of stuff. So, they got hit a little bit if they were. Tyranids, pretty much a wash there. It might go up a little bit because that went down by 10. So, you're saving 20 there, but you're adding 5 there. So, you're basically adding 10 points to your list there. Thousand Suns, they've kind of fallen off the face of the earth right now. You know, the Mutalith going up doesn't help. Vindicator going up definitely doesn't help. The Occult Terminator's going down. I don't think the right units got changed. Tau just went down, basically. Space Wolf don't care. Who are these? Regular Space Marines. So they're going to feel this a little bit. The Centurion Devastators are going to be a nice little thing you can do now. The Predators and stuff going up. I guess, you know, that might change a couple people's lists. The Ballistas going up will definitely change some things. The Blade Guard, you might see some more of them now. Calgar, you'll probably still see him because he is very nutty. Gilliman didn't change, so that's cool. Tank Busters, you're still going to see him. You're still going to see the Big Mech with Shock Attack as well. Necrons, you'll probably still see a Doomsday Arc. You know, me got no changes, unfortunately. Knights, you're not gonna see them unless it's Dan. You're not gonna see this Castellan. Imperial Agents, don't give a shit. Grey Knights, the Interceptors. I always want to call them Inceptors because of the Space Marine Inceptors. The Interceptor Squad, they were already good. You'll continue to see them if and when people run them because they're fast. They move, shoot, move. You know, they can do actions and stuff, and they're a pretty good unit to do it with. Gene Stealers, you might feel this a little bit. I'm not sure which detachment was taking a bunch of these, but now they're gonna feel that. Emperor's Children, we actually have points for, which is pretty cool. Drakari, they went down a little bit, so you're already going to take Witches, probably also taking Kabalite Warriors, so your list went down just a little bit there. Deathwatch, yeah, your Terminators went up 10 points. Big fucking deal. Death Guard, your Terminators went up, your Blight Haulers went down, so that's pretty much a wash there. No changes to Dark Angels. Chaos Space Marines, really no impactful changes here. The Parking Lot went up a little bit. Wait, their Destructor was already 140. Okay. That makes more sense. So their parking lot changed by 15 points. That's basically it. Chaos Knights, yeah, you're just not gonna run them still. Chaos Demons, I can't really speak on too much. Nurglings going down is nice. Flamers going down is cool, because now they can shoot stuff more. Blood Angels, just drops all over where it matters. Black Templar didn't get any changes. Astra Militarum, yeah, they went up. These guys got double nerfed for sure. So your bridgehead strikes and all that sort of stuff this is gonna change pretty significantly. Because bridgehead changed, your scions went up in points. Like it's double whammy, you know? Double whammy, bobammy. These guys, Eldar, they will feel this as well. Striking Scorpions, that's 20 points probably from your list. This is another 20 points. That's 40 right there. That's 55, 65, 75 probably for the most Eldar armies. Your army went up about 75 points. That will definitely change. You'll have to drop a unit of something. That's basically what's going on there. That doesn't matter. This kind of matters. Not that much though. Not super mattering. I like highlighted this and can't undo it. Delete this shit. Yeah, so this going up, this probably changes your Dreadnought list a little bit, because that's going to go up by 50 points right there. 60 points if you're taking that. And then you have some Wardens as well, so call it 70, 80 points. So that's a pretty big change as well. That's going to be an entire unit you're going to have to lose to rework how that goes there. But other than that, I mean, the Shield Captain and Terminator Armor, we got a new detachment. He's probably pretty good in that. We'll get to that in a little bit. I've looked at some of the detachments, looked at like others, not all of them. So, some but not others, I guess is what I was trying to say there. I glanced at this one. I kind of forget what it does, but I know one of the enhancements that can go on this guy is awesome. So him going down is cool. So you might see some different Custodes armies now. Sororitas going down. Seraphim, great. I like Seraphim. Dominions, you see Dominions sometimes, so, you know, 30 points there that your army just gained. Sacrosants, Arcoflagellants, you're probably taking in units of 3, but now you can more reliably take them in 10 if you really want to, and they can actually do stuff, although you're really not taking them very much unless you're playing the Penitent Host. So, Repentia, same deal. Seraphim, they might have a spot now, because 160 points for 10, it's still pushing it for me, just because they're so fragile. But I like it. I will take drops every time. So that's going to be our field manual. So let's now get on to the balanced data slate, because we have some changes to talk about there next. Alright, so here we got the balanced data slate. Anything in red is new, anything in green is old. So let's just skip down a page. Alright, Sororitas got a little buff here. So basically, their army rule is now, each time one of your units is destroyed, you gain a miracle dice, which is great, because they needed something, dude. They needed something. So all this is unchanged, Alright. Eldar, Azurman, Hand of Azurian ability. Change it to once per battle. When this model is selected to shoot, it can use this ability. If it does, until the end of the phase, its Bloody Twins weapon has a damage characteristic of 3, and the anti-infantry 5+, and devastating wounds abilities. Okay, so... Whoa, I just hiccuped. So he's not wounding things on 3s and wiping out a whole Terminator squad anymore. Because he was doing that before. He had like, dude, he could get like 6 attacks with anti-infantry 3 up. He can get sustained hits and dev wounds, like in damage 3. Like, what? Nuts. So anti-infantry 5+ now, dev wounds. That's what he's got. Next we have the Bridgehead Strike, and this is what I was saying before. This got changed, and we're not gonna like it. I've been so back and forth on Bridgehead Strike, and I'll talk about that at the end, I guess. So, Fire Zone Purge Detachment rule, basically it changes to add 1 to the hit roll instead of add 1 to the wound roll. That is not what we want to see. We can already be hitting on 2s. And we're rerolling 1s. So, yeah. Now, we still reroll wounds if you're on an objective, so that's something. That is something. The Bridgehead Strike, though, most likely dead. because +1 to hit is not +1 to wound, and because your scions all went up in points. Firing Hot Stratagem, change the cost to 2 CP, change the effect to, when targeting an enemy unit within 12 inches, improve the strength and armor penetration characteristic of Hot Shot Las carbines, Hot Shot Las guns. My cats are going crazy. Hot Shot Las pistols, Hot Shot marksman rifles, Hot Shot volley guns, and Sentry Hot Shot volley guns equipped by your models by 1. Jesus Christ. So they get +1 strength and AP. It's changed to 2 CP. I'm not sure why that's the case. The stratagem is really not that strong because you're using it on things that are no longer +1 to wound and are like strength 4. So that's that. So big shits here. Yeah. Then we have the Krieg Combat Engineers Remote Mine ability. Once per battle, at the start of your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 9 inches and visible to the bearer and roll d6. On a 3-up, they suffer d3 mortal wounds, or 2d3 mortal wounds instead if it's a vehicle or a fortification unit. So we'll have to take note of this when we get to the Codex review. This is changed. I think it was probably d6 before, and then like 3 plus d3 if it was a vehicle or something like that. Other than that, no other changes on this page. We have 10 pages of this shit, dude. Crazy. So, Legions of Excess detachment rule, Seductive Gambit detachment rule is changed. So it changes to each time a unit ends a charge move, you can declare a Seductive Gambit. If you do, until the end of the turn, if it does not have the Fight's first ability, but instead each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll a hit roll of 1, and you can reroll a wound roll of 1. If this unit is within your army's Shadow of Chaos, you can instead re-roll the hit roll, and you can re-roll a wound roll of 1. So, that is a big change. You're not re-rolling wounds anymore, which sucks because you have a bunch of dev wound weapons, and that's why it was really good, is because you could just dev wound annihilate stuff, and then put all the wounds on something else with a stratagem. So, that is a pretty big change to that detachment. That detachment was nutty, dude. Thieves of Pain Stratagem. Change when in any phase just after an attack or mortal wound is allocated to a Legiones Demonica Slanesh unit from your army, excluding monsters and vehicles. So you can't do it to the fucking Soul Grinder anymore. And then you change the effect to select one or more friendly Legion Demonica units that is within 9 inches invisible to your unit until the end of the phase. When the selected unit is while it's on the battlefield, each time a model in your unit would lose a wound, inflict 1 mortal wound on the selected unit instead. Okay, so you can't use it on fucking Soul Grinders anymore, and you have to be visible and you have to be within 9 inches. So that's all those changes there. Overwhelming Excess, you change this stratagem to change the when your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase just after an enemy unit declares its targets. The effect is changed to until the end of the phase. Each time an attack targets your unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Okay, so those are the changes on this page. No changes on the next page. Grey Knights, Hallowed Ground detachment rule changed to each time a model in a Grey Knights unit from your army makes an attack that targets a visible target, reroll a hit roll of 1. If that unit is a Purifier squad or it's wholly within your army's Hallowed Ground, you can reroll the hit roll instead. Right. So, yeah, because you had stuff behind cover rerolling hits. So, probably with like some way to ignore cover or something. So that's probably pretty good. Leagues of Votan, Eye of the Ancestors. This does affect my army, my main detachment, or my main army this edition. So, the Eye of the Ancestor army rule is now changed. In addition, at the start of the battle, select 2 units in your opponent's army. Each of them start with 2 Judgment tokens. And then the Oathband detachment, it just basically changed to select 2 additional. So, it's still the same. It's just the way that it works with the army rule now. They had to change the wording of both. Tank Busters Bomb Squig. Twice per battle after this unit ends a normal move, you can use 1 Bomb Squig. If you do, select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches invisible to this unit, roll d6 on a 3-up, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. Alright, so it's not a 2-up, huh? Was it a 3-up before? It's definitely on a 2-up for other things. Oath of Moment. I love calling it Oath of the Moment, though, you know? If you're using Codex Space Marines and detachments, you know, so regular detachments basically, you can't get it from the Black Templars, Dark Angel, Space Wolves, none of that other shit gets this. So you get the +1 wound. Can't do that anymore. Wind Swift Evasion Stratagem. So this is, yeah, I forget what this is, but I'm going to read it here. The target is 1 Adeptus Astartes infantry or mounted unit from your army that is within 9 inches of an enemy unit. I think this is the reactive move one. Lieutenant and Phobos Armor Strategic Dispersal Ability. It changes too. In your shooting phase after this model has shot, if it's not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can make a normal move up to 6 inches. If it does, until the end of the turn, it's not eligible to declare a charge. God damn it. Both of these things affected a video that I was making, so that's fun. Son of a bitch. So those are the changes there. Uriel Ventress, Master of the Fleet ability. Select one Phobos, Gravis, or Tacticus Adeptus Astartes infantry units. You're not putting Centurions in Deep Strike anymore. That's not a thing. No longer a thing. No other changes there, and that's the bottom. So that's our balanced data slate. So a whole bunch of changes there. Yeah. Overall, the things that changed are pretty important. This is not happening anymore in games. Were people doing this besides my buddy Chris? I guess they were. So that's changed. So you have to stay with your actual Codex Space Marines there. Bomb Squigs, just a little adjustment there. Leagues of Votann, this might change things because now you might actually play the other detachment. I'm not sure about it even still, because being able to pick 4 units is just so good. And you get the extra CP when you destroy one of them. Pretty good. The stratagems, you sustained it 2 plus 2 AP in combat. The enhancements, being able to just pick an objective and just do the thing on it. Give it a token, ignoring all modifiers to everything forever. That's super duper good. And then yeah, like shoot back, fall back, shoot and charge with anything, not just infantry. Armor of Contempt. Obviously, it's not a 4-up invuln for the whole phase, but it's Armor of Contempt, so it's pretty fucking good and goes a long way a lot of the time. So that's kind of a wash there. But there's, I don't know. You'll see Leagues of Votann being played in the other detachment to test, but I'm not sure if it'll stick around. We shall see. The Warpbane Task Force, so that'll basically remain the same. This is dead. So we'll see what rises to the top here. This is dead. And Sisters might make a small comeback because of their points changes and because of their Miracle Dice being a little bit better now. So yeah, that's our balanced data slate. A lot of changes to kind of consider, but overall, I think more just some quality of life things for the game itself. So next we're going to look at some of the new detachments, starting up with the Tau detachment. Alright, so the Tau have the experimental prototype cadre now. This is pretty awesome. Superior craftsmanship. Add 6 inches to the range characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by Tau Empire models from your army. So, this means all of your, your plasma guns go back up to 24 inches. This means all your melta-guns? I was going to say multi-meltas, because they basically are. They just blow everything up. Your melta-guns go to 18 inches now, which makes them a multi-melta, essentially, for their range. So, now they're melta within 9 inches, which is pretty awesome. This is going to be good on just basically anything that has a short range. So your flamers as well. Your burst cannons, both going up. Well, your flamers go up to 18. Your burst cannons go up to 24. That's a good range to have on some guns that can be pretty good in large volume. So, very good army rule, detachment rule here. I love it. Then we have the Supernova Launcher as our first enhancement. This is for a Tau Empire model only. Select one Airburst Fragmentation Projector equipped by the bearer. Improve the strength characteristic of that weapon by 3, and improve the armor penetration and damage characteristic by 1. So this is interesting. It's not my favorite one. It makes your airbursting frag strength 6, AP 1, and then damage 2. Now, it's a D6 shot weapon with blast, so that's why you never see it. It's strength 3 normally. This thing is garbage, but this doubles its strength and gives it AP 1 and damage 2. So that's not bad, honestly. It's really not that bad at all. But it exists there. So that's what we get for our Supernova Launcher. Then we have the Thermoneutronic Projector, Tau Empire model only. Select one Tau Flamer equipped by the bearer. Improve the strength characteristic of that weapon by 2, and improve the armor penetration and damage characteristic by 1. What that means, and this also would go to 24 inches because of this. So what this means is that you're going to now have a flamer that is AP 1, strength 6, damage 2. It's ignoring cover normally. If it's in the squad of, what are they, Star Scythe guys? The ones with burst cannons or flamers. If you put him in there, he now can become AP 2. So that's very good. Very, very good. And then it's plus 6 inch range. There's also an 18 inch range flamer. Nuts stuff there. Really good for overwatching. Yeah, I love this all very much. Then we have the Plasma Accelerated Rifle, Tau Empire model. Only select one plasma rifle equipped by the bearer. Improve the strength characteristic of that weapon by 2. Improve the attacks and armor penetration and damage characteristic by 1. Jesus Christ. So this fucking plasma gun is like the BFG, basically. Strength 10, AP 4, 2 shots, by the way. Strength 10, AP 4, damage 4. Get fucked. At 24 inches now, too. That thing is a BFG. So that's super cool. Then we have our fusion blades. Tau Empire thing. Select one fusion blaster equipped by the bearer. Improve the attacks characteristic of the weapon by 1. So now it's got 2 attacks. Improve the strength characteristic by 3. So now it's strength 12 with 2 attacks. And it has melt of 4. So now it's strength 12, AP 4. So silly, dude. 2 shots. And it's melt of 4. That will just one-shot a tank, especially when it's with a squad of crisis suits that reroll hits, or they reroll wounds and damage. You're pretty much rerolling hits because you're hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s if you're either near Shadow Sun or you have stealth suits or something like that. So they're basically hitting with everything. And now this guy's strength 12, and then at least 8 damage to his target if he gets both of them through, which he should, because he's rerolling wounds. So it's just like, wow. I love it. And that's also at 18 inches as well. So we don't want to ask the AI assistant anything. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Okay. So moving on. We have their strats here. Automated repair drones. This is in your command phase. You select a battle suit from your army. So it has to be a battle suit unit. That battle suit model in your unit regains D3 plus 1 lost wounds, so kind of good if you have a wounded guy in a unit, or if you have a riptide or something like that, broadside that's taking a bunch of damage. Regain some lost wounds there. Reactive impact dampeners. This is in your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase just after an enemy unit selects its targets. You target an Tau Empire battlesuit unit from your army. Gee. That was the target of those attacks. I'm laughing at myself here. Each time an attack targets a unit, if the strength characteristic is greater than the toughness, which it pretty much always will be because your toughness 5, because your shit sucks unless you're a riptide, in which case it's 9, which is also not good enough. Either way, -1 to wound. So that makes most weapons, even when you're, strength fucking 16 or something, that's still wounding me on 4s if you're a riptide there. So that's pretty good. And this is until the end of the phase, right? Yeah, that's good. Experimental weaponry. This is in your shooting phase. One Tau Empire unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot. Till the end of the phase, each time you roll one or more dice to determine the number of attacks made with a weapon equipped by a model in your unit, you can re-roll the result. Interesting ability. So, just any unit. Could be a riptide, could be the flamer suits. What else gets a bunch of shots? A whole bunch of things, I guess. You can get a bunch of blast stuff that sucks, but mainly the flamers is what comes to mind for me here. You can just re-roll the number of shots. It's interesting. Or if it's like a hammerhead with a bunch of ion cannon hammerheads or something like that, if you try to run that for some reason, then you could put this on one of them. Yeah, it's okay. Experimental ammunition. These are all 1 CP, by the way. So, 1 CP, shooting phase, your shooting phase, you target a Tau Empire unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot. Select one of the following to apply until the end of the phase, and this is on any Tau Empire unit. Improve the strength characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit by 1. Okay, so now this can make things like your flamers, strength 5, which is great. This makes your rocket strength 8, which is a very nice break point to have against a lot of infantry type things to win them on 2s. So this is pretty good. Or you can improve the strength and armor penetration of ranged weapons equipped by models in the unit by 1, but they gain hazardous. So it's just hilarious. Like a squad of breachers coming up with this and just being like, yeah, they're all strength 7 and they're AP like 3 and they ignore cover and they reroll wounds and they have a, what is that? They're like 10 inches normally, right? They have a 16-inch range instead of like a 10-inch range because they get plus 6 inches to the range. So yeah, 10 or 14 inches, or 16 or 14 inches, something like that. Hilarious, dude. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. That would also help out, what's his face? The fire blade that's in the unit could also make his weapons a little bit better with that as well. So pretty good. Then the next one is the Threat Assessment Analyzer. This is in your shooting phase. You target one Tau Empire unit from your army that's not been selected to shoot. Oh, there's a restriction on the experimental ammunition. You can't use it with Threat Assessment Analyzer, and the same goes for Threat Assessment Analyzer. You can't use it with experimental ammunition. So, Threat Assessment Analyzer, your shooting phase. Any Tau Empire unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot, you gain either sustained hits or lethal hits. If you want to become hazardous, you can gain both. So that is pretty sweet. Again, on a unit of breachers or something, yo, those breachers are gonna fuck. This could be good on anything, dude. Giving like a Riptide sustained and a lethal, yeah, that becomes pretty nice to have. Because he's got 6 shots with his big gun, so on average, right? So you'll get a lethal hit from him, you'll get a sustained hit, and you should hit with 3 others. So you'll hit with 4, and then you'll probably get a wound on something. Not bad, you know? Not too shabby. Just a way to sure up some damage from something like a Riptide. And then he's got other guns, too. You would also actually reroll 1s there, so you would probably get another hit, which might translate to a 3rd wound-ish, because then you're rolling 5 instead of 4, plus your lethal. So, either way, pretty good to have on a whole bunch of stuff. You give this to Burst Cannon unit, Star Scythe unit, whatever the fuck it's called. Boom. Sustained and lethal. You give this to a Fire Knife unit, the guys with plasma guns. Yeah, they reroll all their hits if they're targeting something that's like not been damaged yet. So now they delete a unit that hasn't been damaged yet. Like straight up, dude. They have a 24-inch range, right? The 24 inches, which is great. We like 24 inches. Then we have sustained and lethal. So we have a commander in that unit who's got the dumb plasma gun. Like, you're looking at like 10 hits, dude, at least. Plus your like 2 lethals. No, it's more than that. I don't feel like doing the math right now, but it's pretty good. The problem there is going to be hazardous, and a whole bunch of shit's going to die after you're done shooting. So, very good stuff there. Last one here is Neuroweb System Jammer. This is 1 CP. Your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit selects its target, you target a crisis unit specifically. That was the target of those attacks until the end of the phase. Your unit can only be selected as the target of a ranged attack if it's within 18 inches. So, yeah, that's real good. That's real good because you have extra range. So you come down, blow something up, there's nothing important that's in range, you pop this on the unit that came down, and now your opponent can't shoot them with certain things, or they're out of position, or whatever the case may be. So that's awesome. Fucking love it. This detachment is bananas, okay? Like, it's just, this is all guns, no brakes. This is it. This is all guns, no brakes. Problem, though, is that you can't fire and fade, and you can't jump dudes up into the atmosphere. You don't get +1 AP within 9 inches. And so we're talking about, the good Tau detachment, which is the Retaliation Cadre. Comparing it to that for a second. This is very, very good, though. You can repair your battle suits, you can make them untargetable, which in one way or another could be compared to Fire and Fade. It really can't be because you're moving with Fire and Fade. But this at least makes it so that you're hiding in some capacity, that your stuff has to be within 18 to target me. If I'm positioning smart, if they're deep striking into like a little nook or something crazy like that, hopefully you can Neuroweb System Jam and not be shot at. But, But yeah, like being able to boost your... So this is just taking the ability from one of the other detachments, from Montka or from Kayun, just getting it, or both of them if you want to blow yourself up. This is just nice. This is getting the ability from... goddamn, my brain doesn't work sometimes. Retaliation Cadre, you know, +1 strength, +1 AP. So that gives it to you for a unit. You have just good stuff, dude. This is bad, though. Experimental weaponry, meh. It's very meh. Regaining wounds, I like this much better than giving me a 4-up feel no pain. Or a 4-up feel no pain, I'd love that. A 6-up feel no pain. From Retaliation Cadre, don't like it. This is fine, I guess, when, you know, if you're losing out on something like the repair, or the -1 damage that you get from, Montka. I forget what that is called. Counterfire defense system. Reactive dampeners, this is great as well. This makes your stuff also very tough, so this can be used on a battlesuit unit. It makes that battlesuit unit much tougher, and if you really need to, you can also neuroweb system jam them, make it so that only certain things can shoot at them. Very good. Very good stuff here. I like it. All guns, no brakes. Fucking hoorah. Very American. That's it. That's what we got for our experimental prototype cadre. So next we're going to do the demons, because the demons got some new stuff. And here we go. Alright, next up, Chaos Demons. We got the same stuff here, the same rules. This is actually their index, but we have some new stuff. We've got some new stuff right here. Shadow of Legions. Shadow Legions. Here we go. Attachment rule. If your army faction is demons, you can use Shadow Legion detachment rule. Units from your army have the relevant abilities presented below. Shadow Legion Khorne unit only. This unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. What? Super good. Prenumbal Puppetry. Right, this is for Tzeentch. Each time an attack targets this unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Great on big Fate Weavers and stuff. And little stuff, I guess. Yeah. -1 to hit on everything? Yeah. That's pretty good. Gloamrot. This is detachment is nuts. Gloamrot. Shadow Legion Nurgle unit only. So obviously this is going to be for Nurgle. Each time an attack targets this unit, if the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than the toughness characteristic, subtract 1 from the wound roll. Cool. So they just get the ability my Terminators get from Votann when a guy attaches to them. It's like... It turns on when I have a character. They just get it all the time on everything. Cool, cool, cool. Shadow's Caress is going to be for Slaanesh units only. Enemy units cannot use the Fire Overwatch stratagem to shoot at this unit. And then you have Disciples of Be'lakor for undivided units. This unit has the Dark Pact Army rule, and you can use the Dark Pact Army rule even though it's not Heretic Astartes. If it's Be'lakor, it automatically passes the leadership test. Yeah, and then Shadow Legion Heretic Astartes models in this unit have Deep Strike. Or in this detachment. Or this unit. Wait, this unit? Oh, so they gain that. The unit just gains Deep Strike. This is pretty good. This is pretty fucking good. Khorne units advancing and charging. Tzeentch units being -1 to hit. Nurgle units being -1 to wound. Slaanesh units, you can't fire Overwatch at them, so they can just jump in front of you, get onto objectives, do like that kind of stuff. That's just awesome. I love it. And then all this other shit being able to Dark Pact. Bro. This is ringing alarm bells for me. This is nuts. How many... I don't know the points very well for Chaos Demons. I don't have them, like, memorized. But my god. This is some crazy bullshit right here. Shoot and declare charge. Dude, just take 3 of the fucking... tanks that shoot. I forget what they're called. They're actually good in combat, though. They're like a couple of blood letters in combat. So, what changed here? I'm actually not sure. We do have stratagems for our Shadow Legion of Nonsense. Spiteful Demise, 1 CP. This is in any phase just after a Shadow Legion unit from your army is destroyed, before removing the last model from the battlefield, and before rolling any Deadly Demise abilities. That Shadow Legion unit, you can use the stratagem on, even though it was destroyed. Of course we can, because of course we can. Roll a d6 for each enemy unit within engagement range of the last model in your unit. Add 2 to the result if it's Slaanesh. On a 4 to 5, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. On a 6, they suffer 3. Oof. Oof. each unit within engagement range. Okay, so you just charge into like dude, you just charge a demonette unit into like 3 different units, or even a corn unit, right? Yeah, you charge a corn unit because they can advance and charge, so it might even be faster. Charge a corn unit into like a bunch of different things. I guess Slaanesh would be better though, because it goes off better with Slaanesh. So we're gonna do Slaanesh. Well, let's say Slaanesh. You charge into a bunch of things, you explode them, and then they fight back, explode you, and then you explode again and do mortal wounds to all 3 units. You do 3 to like half of them. Whew, that's pretty good. Channeled Wrath fight phase. 1 hallowed shadow. Gee, I can't fucking do this. 1 Shadow Legion unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have lance. Okay. If it's corn, until the end of the phase, improve the armor penetration of those weapons by 1 as well. Ooh. 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 Oh, God. That's nuts. Okay, so +1 to wound, +1 AP. They charge in, and they kill what they charge, dude. Like, 100% of the time. You put this on a unit like a Blood Crusher's unit, aren't they good, kind of? Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they're okay, so that would give them, like, AP probably 3 in combat, and +1 to wound, which is not bad. Don't they do, like, impact mortals, too, or something? Anyway, it's pretty good, and I like it. I like it. Next, I guess it's just lance on anything, honestly, is gonna be good. Like, on Bellicor, just wounds anything on 2s. And just kills anything. What else is good? Fiends, I guess, was a good thing that people charge with. Even just Demonettes. Good amount of attacks, +1 to wound now. Just nice to have, 1 CP. Then we have Death Denied. 1 CP, your command phase, Shadow Legion unit from your army. 1 model from your unit regains up to 3 lost wounds. In addition, if it's Tzeentch, return up to 1 destroyed model, excluding characters, to your unit with its full wounds remaining. That's so good. That's so nice, dude. So a unit of like Flamers or something. Screamers. Do people run Screamers? Flamers, though? This is good on Flamers. And so are Flamers that are -1 to be -1 to be hit from the detachment rule. They're a really good Overwatch target because they're just a bunch of Flamers. Yeah, I like this. Bringing back guys, repairing other guys. You can repair your big stuff for 3 wounds. Just good stuff there. I'm a fan. Encroaching Darkness is in your shooting phase. You target up to 1 Shadow Legion Heretic Astartes unit from your army and 1 Shadow Legion Demonica guy from your army. You can only select units that arrive from reserve this turn. Interesting. Until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models in your unit have ignores cover. What deep strikes that shoots well? Obliterators? Shade Path. Your opponent's charge phase, just after an enemy unit declares a charge, you target a... This is 2 CP, by the way. You target a Shadow Legion unit from your army that was selected as the target of that charge. Until the end of the phase, subtract 2 from charge rolls made for that enemy unit. In addition, if it's Nurgle, the enemy unit must take a Battle Shock test. So -2 to charge for 2 CP. Interesting. Okay. The next one's Binding Shadow. End of your opponent's fight phase. Up to 1 Shadow Legion Heretic Astartes unit from your army and up to 1 Shadow Legion Demonica Demons unit from your army. You can only select units that are not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. Remove those selected units from the battlefield, put them into strategic reserve. Yep, kind of had a feeling it was that. Interesting. So we got some good stuff here. Return to reserve is a good stratagem for sure. -2 to charge for 2 CP. What? How is that? How is that a thing? This is weird. I don't like that too much. The other ones, though, these ones are good. Regain wounds on Tzeentch things, Lance. Oh no, this is just regain 3 wounds. This is on anything. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's real good. That's real good. That's real good. That there, real good. This is good, just blowing stuff up in their face, because you want to charge anyway. Getting Lance, that's pretty good, plus all the detachment rules that you get with everything. This is just silly. Then we have the enhancements. Leaping Shadows. Shadow Legion model, only models in the Bears unit have Scout 9. Okay. So this could basically be anything. This could be a unit of Blood Crushers, probably. Bloodletters. This could be a whole bunch of things. Basically anything that you can attach a model to can get Scout 9 inches. Attach a character to, Scout 9 inches on that. Mantle of Gloom, which is an aura, Shadow Legion model only. While an enemy unit is within engagement range of the bearer, subtract 1 from the objective control characteristic of models in that unit. How is that an aura? Not a fucking aura. Fade to Darkness. So what do I think of this? I think this is actually pretty good. While an enemy unit is within range of them, and within engagement range, they subtract 1 from the OC of all models in that unit. So pretty fucking good. Fade to Darkness, Shadow Legion only. At the end of the fight phase, if the bearer's unit destroyed 1 or more enemy units this phase and is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, you can remove the bearer's unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserve. What? What the fuck? Bro. No. Are you kidding me? That's really good. That's real good. That's real good, guys. Because you just put something into strategic reserve and then you can just rapid ingress it the next turn, charge, and do the same thing. Oh man, that's some fucking bullshit right there. Now, you guys would know better than me what this would be good on, but I don't know, a Bloodthirster? Bloodthirster kills something almost anytime it charges, probably, and then it just kills the thing and then just hops away. Yeah, about that. About that. Seems good. Malice Made Manifest, Shadow Legion model only. At the start of the fight phase, select one enemy unit within engagement range of the bearer. Roll a d6. On a 2 to 5, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. On a 6, they suffer 3. Mid. Fucking mid. Alright, so basically, the Leaping Shadows, Mantle of Gloom, and Fade to Darkness are great. Fade to Darkness is outrageous. Mantle of Gloom is very useful to have. You know, that'll get you, that'll deny points, most likely, for 1 turn. And then Leaping Shadows, just really good. But this bullshit, Fade to Darkness, are you out of your fucking mind, bro? This is an OP thing. This should be like 100 points if you're going to give this to something. It's probably like 10. Nah, it's probably more than that, but that's nuts. So that is Chaos Demons detachment, their new detachment. Now, I believe Bellicor also changed. Bellicor. So he changed. He's toughness 11 with a 12-inch move, a 3-up save, 20 wounds, leadership 6, and OC 5. 4-up invuln as well. For ranged weapons, he's got these Betraying Shades. Now, it's either Strength 9. No, it's 9 attacks. It's either Strength 5, AP 2, 1 damage, or it's 12 attacks at Strength 6, AP 3, 1 damage. And it has Devastating Wounds, ignores cover. So, and it becomes, you know, hazardous if he wants to become cool. It shouldn't, to be honest. It should just be the really good profile because he's from the warp. That aside, it's pretty good. Pretty good. 18 shots, or 12 shots at 18 inches. I can't even speak anymore, dude. I've done too much talking. For melee, he's got 7 attacks with Devastating Wounds at Strength 14, AP 4, and D6 plus 1 damage. Like, just get fucked. He also gains access to Dark Pact. So now he has either sustained hits or lethal hits, and he's going to take sustained hits because he has Dev Wounds. And, yeah. Like, what? Nuts. Plus 1 to wound on him? Nuts. And so this is what he does now. He's got Deadly Demise D6, Deep Strike, and Stealth, so he's a very stealthy boy. He's hard to kill. -1 to hit him from shooting. You don't want to get in combat with him, because he will nuts all over you. He does have 14 attacks at 8, 3, 1 as well, with Sustain built in. But you're not going to use that very much. You're going to use 14 for D6 plus 1 most of the time. Dark Master. The area of the battlefield within 6 inches of this model is within your army's Shadow of Chaos. By the way, this thing's on a gigantic fucking base, so 6 inches all around that base might as well be the whole fucking table. And then you have Shadow Form. At the start of the battle round, select one Shadow Form ability, see reverse. Until the end of the battle round, this model has that ability, then he's -1 to hit if he's hurt boy. So, Bellicor. Weathered in Shadows. While a friendly demon unit or shadow Legion unit is within 6 inches of this model, it can only be targeted by a ranged attack if the attacking model is within 18 inches. So he forces you, he's always done this, but he basically forces your opponent to get close so that he can just charge you and stuff. Pall of Despair. In the battle shock step of your opponent's command phase, if an enemy unit is below its starting strength within 9 inches of this model, it must take a battle shock test, and for the purposes of this ability, if that unit have a starting strength of 1, it is considered below starting strength while it's lost 1 or more wounds. In addition, for each enemy unit that fails the test within 9 inches of this model regains D3 lost wounds. Wow. That's actually impactful, because he makes everything within 9 take 1. He gets close to you, charges you, it's your battle shock step, stuff's hurt, like 2 things fail maybe, and he regains like an average of 4 wounds. Cool. Not bad. Then you have Shadow Lord. While a friendly demon or Shadow Legion unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. Awesome. Just gives out reroll hit rolls. Flies up is hard to see. He's not... Yeah, he is not Titanic. This thing needs to be Titanic. Have you seen this thing? It's fucking enormous. It has to be your warlord. It's Bellicor. So yeah, basically those are the changes that I am aware of and that we're gonna go over, because Bellicor is good. He's a good boy. I think Bellicor changed. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'm done with this. Let's go on to the next one. And our next one here is more DACA. Our detachment rule is, of course, DACA. During your shooting phase, ranged weapons equipped by Orc infantry and Orc walker models from your army have sustained 2. While the WOG is active for your army, ranged weapons equipped by Orc infantry and Orc walker models from your army have assault. Right. That's what they always should have had, but now they have it, and sustained 2 all the time. You just have sustained 2. That's nuts. That's nuts. That's nuts. This is fucking nuts. Let's take a look at their enhancements. The Gobshot Thunderbus. Orc model only, ranged weapons equipped by the bearer have devastating wounds and hazardous. Okay, so the mech with a shock attack gun, basically, right? That's what you give this to? Dead Shiny Shooters, Orc model only, ranged weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit have rapid fire 1. Okay. So this could definitely be good on the tank busters. Give them rapid fire 1 and have them be D3 shots with fucking blast. That is 5 extra shots, basically 6 extra shots, I think, 5 or 6 extra shots, plus the what's his face? The shock attack gun itself would become rapid fire plus D6. It might be blast as well. I think it's blast. Even if it's not, that's very nice to have as well. Ludas already have rapid fire. Trying to think of some of the other shooting units. I guess you could also give this to mech guns. So mech guns could also gain rapid fire here. They don't gain sustained hits too, though, because they're not infantry. So that's not great. And they're not walkers either. At least I don't think they are. They're just a vehicle. They definitely don't get sustained hits too. But you could give them rapid fire. There's a couple of good things that you want to put this on. Flash Gits. Can anything attach to Flash Gits? I don't think that anything can attach to Flash Gits. But if you could, they would get rapid fire 1. Alright, so targeting squigs. Orc model only. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Okay, that's gross, because now you have Ludas that are actually good at shooting. Yeah. That's very, very nice to have. Ludas that are good at shooting is what we like to see, for sure. Then we have Zolgoth and Eat Daka. Orc model only, the bearer's unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back. Also really nice to have, depending on what kind of unit it is that's getting into combat. We then have Orcs as still Orcs as our first stratagem for 1 CP. It's in the fight phase. 1 Orc unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, reroll a wound roll of 1. If that enemy unit is within range of an objective marker, you can reroll the wound roll instead. So that's a shooting build, but they're also like, here's a reroll wound strat for combat, because you know you want to get into combat still, because Orcs is still Orcs. So that's awesome. I love that. Get stuck in, lads. This is 1 CP in your command phase. 1 Orc unit from your army until the start of your next command phase. The WOG is active for your unit, even if you've already called the WOG this battle. So that's fucking bullshit. So 1 CP, give a unit +1 attack, +1 strength, I'm pretty sure. The ability to advance and charge, and a 5-up invuln. 1 CP. Give a unit all those things. Plus, activate any of its abilities that it has on its datasheet when it gets to WOG a second time. Or when it's WOGing, just in general. Like, Mega Knobs? Yeah. That's really nice to have. That's a really, really good ability. I love it. I just love it. Get stuck in, lads. Get stuck the fuck in. Then we have huge show-offs for 1 CP in your command phase or walker unit from your army, excluding Killicans. Until the start of your next command phase, improve the move, leadership, objective control by 1, and each time it makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So this is going to go on a big stompy walker. So, yo, you could put this on a fucking Stompa. Let's move it to become 11. Okay, so maybe you put this on the Morkanaut or the Gorkanaut. Doesn't seem super great, but you have that one. Then you have long uncontrolled bursts. That's hilarious, dude. 1 CP. Oh, that fucking got me. 1 CP at the start of your shooting phase, you target an orc character model from your army. Select 1 enemy unit within 18 of your orc's character. Until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by orc models from your army have ignores cover while targeting that unit. So you take away cover for an enemy unit. Alright, great. Spatial shields. Our spatial shields are 1 CP too. It's in your shooting phase. You target an orc's unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible target within 18, improve the armor penetration of ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit by 1. My god, that's awesome. So +1 AP. They don't even gain hazardous. It just gets +1 AP. I love it. I love it. Then we call that DACA. I call you DACA. 1 CP for DACA. Call it DACA. Your opponent's DACA phase just after an enemy unit has DACA'd. You target 1 orc unit from your army that has had one or more of its models destroyed as a result of the attacking unit's attacks. They can shoot as if it were your shooting phase, but must target that enemy unit when doing so. It can only target them if they're eligible. That's awesome. So they shoot back at you. They reroll wounds in combat. They have extra WOG. They have better AP. They have extra better AP. And then a useless one. This detachment is fucking nuts. What? And so if you call WOG a second time, you get assault on those weapons that turn. Oh my, this is nuts, dude. Just take 3 units of flash gits. They would love to be in here. They might have rapid fire already. But, can you not attach guys to them? But sustained hits, they might have sustained hits already as well. They have sustained 1, don't they? That's what they have. So I don't know if you can attach a unit to them anymore, because Captain Badruck's gone. Yeah, he's definitely gone. So, you can't give him +1 to hit. You can't give him rapid fire. You can't do anything cool here. So, Ludas, I guess? So, okay, so Ludas. They already have rapid fire. This guy is just going to exist. The Devastating Wound Shock Attack Mech. That's got sustained hits too. In a unit of Tank Busters. He's just going to exist, alright? Then, because the Tank Busters already get +1 to hit and +1 to wound if it's against a vehicle, which is going to be most of their targets. You might have a second unit with that, though. You might have a second Tank Busters unit with +1 to hit and sustained hits too. Dude, like, this is fucking crazy good. This is crazy good. And this is good because Flash Gits are actually pretty good in combat because they all have just a Choppa, but it's a little stronger. It's strength 6 on a WOG. So on the WOG turn, you can just give them reroll wounds. That's just good. It's just good to have on anything. Reroll wounds, like, I'll take reroll wounds on a big knob unit. Fuck yeah. Get stuck in, bitch. Get WOG for another turn. Like, that's nuts on Mega Knobs. Yeah, like, do you have Gazgul in your list? Cool, it's just WOGing every turn. Like, nuts. Nuts. This detachment's nuts. This is very nutty. Did you shoot at my Flash Gits and killed, like, 2 of them? I'm gonna shoot back at you with my Flash Gits for 1 CP. It's just, like, my Flash Gits are AP2. Nuts. This can be nuts. or my, what do they, I keep forgetting the name immediately. The Rocket Boy guys. Tank Busters. Jesus, fuck. My brain just doesn't work, dude. Tank Busters, AP4, like, or AP3 if they're not shooting a tank, or if you don't want to use their ability to get +1 strength, +1 AP. Like, just AP3 with your rockets that have sustained hits too, and probably rapid fire, or like they're just hitting on 4s. So, this detachment is the DACA. It has all the DACA. This is DACA.detachment, basically, or maybe detachment.DACA. It doesn't really matter because it means the same thing, which is that this is fucking nutty, alright? This whole thing. Crazy. Gaining assault too. I fucking love this. This is awesome. So that's going to be our Orcs detachment, more DACA. That's the new one for them. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, and then our last one up here is the Lines of the Emperor for the Custodes. Our detachment rules against all odds. Each time a Custodes unit from your army, excluding vehicles, makes an attack, if there's no other friendly units within 6 inches of that unit, add 1 to the hit roll, and add 1 to the wound roll. That's very good. So you're going to want to like have your unit split apart. That's kind of like the idea here. This is probably not as easy as it sounds, though. I mean, you can probably get a couple units outside of 6 inches from everything, but getting them all the time outside of 6, that's going to be difficult to do because you want to be hiding stuff. But you don't have that many units, so it should be easy once you push out, which is kind of the idea here. So +1 to hit, +1 to wound. Don't know why you need +1 to hit. You're already hitting on 2s, but I guess it helps against things that are -1 to be hit. Superior Creation is our first enhancement, but the +1 to wound is nuts. Superior Creation is the first one here for our enhancements. The first time the bear is destroyed, roll a d6 at the end of the phase. On a 2+, set up the bear back on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units with its full wounds remaining. Dude, that's nutty. You can put this on a couple different characters, so you can put this on a Blade Champion. Now your annoying-ass Blade Champion just gets back up and just smacks shit in the face. This could be put on a Terminator Captain, the Terminator Alaris guy. He gets a once-a-game ability where he becomes, like, everything becomes 1 damage against him, and now he can just be set back up with full wounds. And he's just like, hey, I'm nuts to kill already, so what's up? So that's pretty good. I like that a lot. We have Presidius, I think that's how you say that. Custodes model only, the bear has lone op and stealth. Okay, so yeah, probably a Terminator Captain would get this. Now, maybe a Dawn Eagle Jet Bike could get this. That might be good. He gets stealth. He's got toughness 7 now, or toughness 6, or I think he's 7 actually now, which is good. He has stealthiness for some reason, even though he's gigantic. He's like the size of a fucking car, but he's stealthy. He's a stealthy car. And he's got the lone op, which is the important part there. So the lone op, I like this actually a lot on that guy. Then we have Fierce Conqueror, shield captain only. At the start of the fight phase until the end of the phase, add 2 to the attack characteristic of the melee weapons equipped by the bearer for every 5 enemy models within 6 inches of the bearer. That can be pretty good. I mean, you're talking 4 extra attacks against the 10-man unit that you charge with just the character. So he's got 9 attacks now. Right? 10 attacks? 9 or 10 attacks? I think it's 10 attacks. He's got like 10 attacks with sustained hits because your army rule. Yeah, he's a Fierce Conqueror for sure. 10 attacks to kill you stuff. Then you have, okay, whatever the fuck it is. Shield captain only. Improve the strength characteristic of the melee weapons equipped by the bearer by 3. So that would take him to strength 10. And improve the armor penetration and damage characteristic by 1. So strength 10, AP 3, damage 3. 6 attacks with sustained hits. If it's on a Terminator character, shield captain only. They have the shield captain keyword, right? They're shield captain and Alaris Terminator armor. So, because these are shield captain on these other 2. And just anything here, basically. Him with a Terminator unit, they're +1 to wound vehicles. Maybe, no, they reroll wounds against vehicles at +1, potentially. Yeah, he's just gonna, like, kill a tank by himself. Or other things, because he becomes damage 3. He could become damage 4, actually, because he hits hammer thing, right? And then that damage 3 normally? So that's pretty good. That's really, really good, actually. Then we have our stratagems. So the first one is Gilded Champion for 1 CP. Any phase just after a Custodes character model from your army used an ability on its datasheet that states it can only be used once per battle. So you can use it twice, right? Yeah, the once per battle ability can be used a second time. You cannot use the stratagem on the same character more than once. Okay. Fine. But that's great. It's at any phase. When you use the ability, he can just use it a second time. So that means that your captain that's getting up on a 2+, the Alaris captain that can be -1 damage, or make everything 1 damage against him, he can do it twice now. What? And he went down in points, so that seems pretty spicy. Peerless Warrior, 1 CP. Nope, so we skipped one here. Defiant to the last for 1 CP. Fight phase just after an enemy unit selects its targets. You target a Custodes unit from your army that was the target of the attacks. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if it has not fought, roll a d6. Adding 2 to the result if it's a character, and on a 4-up, it gets to fight back, and is treated as having 1 wound remaining. Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant? So it's a fights on death strat for 1 CP because it's on a 4-up, unless it's a character, then it's on a 2-up. Then we have the Peerless Warrior, which is also in the fight phase. You target an Adeptus Custodes unit from your army not selected to fight. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have precision. So instead of giving it an epic challenge, you can just be like, listen, all these guys are now a character with epic challenge. Your character is dead. Unleash the Lions, 1 CP. This is in your command phase. You target an Alaris Custodian or Aquilon Custodian unit from your army that is on the battlefield. Interesting that they call out the Aquilon specifically. It separates into different units, each containing 1 model. These new units each have a starting strength of 1. I love that. They're just flying in 6 different directions. Wait, that means all of them can deep strike around? Yo, that is so good. That is so good. You take a 6-man Alaris unit, you split them all into different units. Oh my god. And then they can all just teleport around, dude. Dude. I love that. I love that so... And they're just basically little mini characters. Like, they're all toughness 6 with 4 wounds. They all reroll wounds, and they're +1 to wound, and they're rerolling all their shit, and... Yeah. Fuck yeah. Absolutely fuck yeah. Good shit. Okay. Maneuver and fire. 1 CP, your movement phase. Just after an Adeptus Custodes unit from your army falls back, you target that unit until the end of the phase. It's eligible to shoot and declare a charge in the turn in which it fell back. Awesome. You know, I haven't talked about any of the guns getting +1 to hit or wound. The +1 to wound on the Alaris guys, that's going to be impactful because they have grenades. I mean, and your spears too. But now they're +1 to wound, potentially. So that's very good. This is nutty. Swift as the Eagle. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has shot. You target an Adeptus Custodes unit from your army, excluding vehicle units that were shot, or that were targeted. They can make a D6 move of normal moves. So they can't go into combat, but they can make a D6 move. Nice. So you can try to get behind cover, you know, try to get onto objectives, make a normal move, D6. You're swift as the eagle. Alright, so I love this. I don't know how powerful it is necessarily. They've got some pretty cool shit they can do here. +1 to hit, +1 to wound. All that. Oh, dude, that could also be really good on just bike units. Bike units are expensive though, right? So what if you just took a Laris and bikes? Split a unit into 6 guys that just do secondary actions and are annoying, and just fucking 2 of them hold your backfield, the other 4 do stuff and teleport up, and then when they're not doing stuff, they're doing the killing stuff. And then just have like a 6-man Alaris unit, have a bunch of bike units that are all like +1 to hit, +1 to wound. So they're just wounding, and their gun's much better now. Their Meltagun thing, it's like twin linked, strength 10, AP3, damage D6 +2 or something good. It's good. So you can have a bunch of Melta bikes. They all fly in there. They're already +1 to wound, which, yeah, but they're good in combat. They fly over stuff and do mortal wounds. Like, there might be something here. There might be something here. They can gank characters. They can do abilities twice, which is like the ability to move again, maybe, if you have a captain on a jet bike. So they can like attack something and then make a normal move. fly backward. That's pretty fucking good. They can do it twice, potentially, so you've like, you can't take 6-man units anymore, can you? Ah, those motherfuckers. Okay. What about the ones with that deep strike down? What about those guys? They now are +1 to hit and wound, so their guns kind of is pretty mid, let's be honest. They already have lance, so they don't really benefit from anything interesting there. Fight on death's cool, precision's cool on them, normal move might be cool on them. Fallback shooting charge, meh. Can't do it on them, and then I'll have a character that can attach it. Alright, so nothing good going on with them. But yeah, this is very, very strong. Nutty stuff. Nutty stuff. So basically, I think that's gonna do it though. That is the end of this detachment, and that's all the new ones, I think. And we covered all the changes to some of the other detachments and stuff, like Bridgehead and Legion of Excess and that kind of stuff from the balanced data slate, so nothing to really go over there. The Demons one was in its own thing. I think that's pretty much it, so that's where we're going to end it. If I missed anything, guys, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section, and then Thunderhammer the shit out of that like and subscribe button. Thunderhammer Nurgle's bell icon. Check out the other videos, and check out the other channel where it's video game stuff. I have fun, and so do you. That's going to do it, so thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to theory hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.